We asked storytellers to select a type of story and some words to inspire the stories that they tell.
Once upon a time, there was a little girl, and she grew up in a cottage in the forest. She loved to play by the brook. I guess I should name her. Her name is, I'm coming up with strange names. Her name is Bluebell. Bluebell loved to drink from the brook. She liked to hang out with the deer and pretend she was one of them. So she would kind of like get in there. She liked to run up the trees. She liked to, collect blueberries, of course, because that's what you do when you're, in the forest and your name is Bluebell. I know you're wondering, who did she live with? Like, did she just grow up kind of like as if she was raised by wolves? Yes. She did not really know any adults for most of her life. It was actually the kind of thing that we would think is tragic. A child should have parents and adults who care for them and love them. But Bluebell was kind of fine with it. She kind of rolled along, and somehow she avoided all the scrapes that most of us would find ourselves in. She found a way to feed herself. You have to understand, though, that Bluebell wasn't left alone since she was a baby. Obviously, a baby can't feed herself. It was when she was 2. At that point, she could pick her blueberries. Now, one day, Bluebell looked up from the brook and saw across the land, across the rocky crags and all the trees and everything, that in the very far distance was this weird, tall thing starting to go up. There were bricks. She didn't know what to call those things. They were just like blocks of something, and there were workers piecing them up. And after a year of seeing this, she realized it was a castle. Now, she didn't really know what a castle was, obviously, but she needed to find out. So she was like, how am I gonna get there? It's really far, and I know I love to run, but this seems like quite a distance. I'm gonna have to build something for myself so I can get there. So she found these kind of flat, round rocks, 3 of them, and she found some sticks. And this Bluebell was quite an ingenious person because she found a way to turn it into a tricycle. And she rolled herself on this prehistoric little tricycle at the young age of 12, because yes, she'd been hanging out for a long time in that forest. And she rolls up to the castle. Now, you can imagine Bluebell was kind of scruffy. She didn't really have a haircut. Her clothes were kind of made out of matted leaves. Like, she might have been a little smelly. But she had a look in her eye that was really fun. So she rolls up. There's a moat. There are 5 men on each side of this little bridge over the moat with their trumpets and the scrolls and everything. And she's like, I need to get in here. I need to know what this thing is. And they're like, young lady, I don't really think you're presentable. And she was like, I don't really know what that word means. What does it mean to be presentable? And they were like, well, at the very least, you should smell good or not bad. It would be nice if your hair was a little more kempt, and your clothes, I'm quite concerned. Where have you been dressing yourself? And she said, I've been fending for myself for years and years. No one complained before. The deer didn't have a problem with it. The squirrels were fine. The rabbits, totally chill. The first trumpeter, his name was Darius. And Darius looked at Bluebell and kind of could see that she was laughing a little bit inside by these slightly ridiculous questions that these men were asking. I mean, normal for them, but he could see how ridiculous it was to her. And he was like, child, what is your name? And she said, adult, my name is Bluebell. And he said, Bluebell, Come inside, we're gonna get you freshened up. Once Darius brought her inside, he pulled out his wand. There were sparks flying off of it. He hid it in his trumpet. You'd think it would rattle when he would, make some music, but he was magic. He found a way to conceal it. He twirled his wand all around Bluebell, and she turned into a talking bluebell flower. The end.